Hey sweeties, it's DeeDee. Welcome back to the dollhouse and this week's knitting vlog. As you can see, we're picking up exactly where we left off from last week's vlog. I literally just turned the camera off and turned it back on. So no time has been wasted. We are still working on the checkerboard. I want to say patchwork so badly, and it's not patchwork. We are still working on the checkerboard skirt for vacation this summer. We are, as I mentioned at the end of the last vlog, trying to have it done this week. So by next Sunday, I would love to be blocking this on Saturday of this week. That's like my ultimate goal. And I think I can do it because Mr. is going out of town this weekend, which means I will be coming home and kind of hanging out by myself once I put the boys to bed, which means a lot of laying on the couch and watching Chinese dramas. And, well, that's not true. Okay, I found a Chinese drama this week literally yesterday. It's called Oh My General. It's about a female general in, like, you know, some ancient Chinese army, and she goes back to the capital city. She's given in marriage, like she has an arranged marriage from the emperor with like this kind of foppish, dandy, very, very pretty man who's like related to the emperor. He's like a, you know, like a lord or whatever. And they end up getting married, and it's like the story of them falling in love with like a whole bunch of political intrigue through the middle. And I found it yesterday, and I've watched like 23 out of the 60 episodes since yesterday. And they're 45-minute long episodes. But it is on YouTube. I will link it in the description. It has English subtitles, and it's on YouTube, and you can watch it if you would like. I am obsessed. I don't know what I'm going to watch next. I'm not done with the series yet. But I'm hoping there's another something very similar because, everybody falls in love with her. Like, all the women in the series, basically, except her husband's mother, are basically in love with her. She's the best thing ever. She's like, you know, I'm not educated. I'm not good with words. I'm only good with fighting. And then she, like, shows up and all the girls are obsessed. Like, the lord that she marries has concubines who are like, we have to protect our general. It's so cute. It's so cute. So that's what I've been on, and I'll have a lot of free time to watch it while he's gone. So hopefully that means I'll get a lot of knitting done. I don't usually sleep well when he's gone just because I'm paranoid being home alone, like being the only grown up in the house. So that just means a lot more sewing and knitting time, which I absolutely do need because I have 2 months to make 7 months worth of projects for vacation. That's probably all I'm going to be knitting and sewing for the foreseeable future. And I mean, I'm not upset about it. I feel like I work best when I have a goal in mind. Like when I'm working on something as opposed to just giving free rein, because I do get like options paralysis. If I have too many options, it just gets overwhelming to me. So I do appreciate having a list and having to work from it because there are so many things on my sewing list. And I'm gonna have to, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to start narrowing if I'm gonna finish everything, before vacation, because when I was planning this vacation collection, it was a morning outfit to wear when I'm getting the boys ready for breakfast, a day outfit for after I've dropped the boys off at Camp Ocean, um, a swimsuit cover up, and then an evening outfit, like something cocktail to wear to dinner. So it was a lot, which is why it was supposed to be done over 7 months, starting in December last year. And if I had done that, that would have given me a month per outfit. And so I would have been able to do like one outfit a week over a month and been, perfectly fine. But I didn't. So now I'm here in Panic Land. And I think the first thing I'm probably going to cut is probably the morning outfit. Like those will probably drop to the bottom of my list first and focus on the evening and the day probably, because I have swimsuits. I don't like them, but I have them. So focus on the evening and day wear, then swimsuits, then morning wear. Like, and just reverse engineer it that way. But honestly, I really want to make everything, so I really might just have to get about it. So wish me luck. With that being said, look, Mister's out of town, so there won't be a whole lot going on. I did feel bad in the last vlog that you just kind of saw me in various bedrooms around my house knitting. Like there wasn't much happening. But then again, I don't do much. And like this isn't a lifestyle vlog, it's a knitting vlog. Can you hear my children? I hope you can. I hope you can hear my child screaming bloody murder. He's fine. He's fighting with his brother. Like they're play fighting downstairs. So if you can hear them and it annoys you, I'm sorry, I apologize. If you can hear them and like it doesn't annoy you, it's probably because you understand boy children and the weird things that they do. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. This isn't a lifestyle vlog. It's just a knitting vlog. So it really is just to show you what I'm knitting. But as I've said at least once before in last week's knitting vlog, I'm not a very good vlogger. I'm really good at capturing B-roll, like video of me doing the thing without talking to you about it. But I'm not very good at like talking to and engaging with the camera because that's just not really something I think about. Like I can turn on the camera and then mindlessly knit and have 7 hours worth of footage of me mindlessly knitting and never actually engage with like you, the viewer. And I don't know, personally, I feel like vlogs are more enjoyable when the person making the video is engaging with the viewer, like even if it's just talking through their thoughts or stream of consciousness type thing. I'm a big fan of the Hobby Habitat, like the way she's just kind of conversational. When she's in her videos, it's very engaging. But I'm not very engaging. I'm not a very interesting person. I just kind of am and just kind of do and wanted to share. So I apologize if my vlog was not very interesting since it is just knitting in various places about my house. But I mean, I guess this is a warning if you are looking for a fun, interesting vlog that it probably is not going to happen here. And I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess I could say if this is the first of these vlogs that you're seeing, welcome. You haven't missed much. I only posted one other one last week. But I am making a patchwork knitted skirt. It's going to be part of a set inspired by a pin that I saw on Pinterest that I will put up here. There you go. It's from one of those like online boutiques that I don't tend to shop with just because I don't tend to buy clothes anyway. I have spent so much money on fabric and yarn, the least I could do is use it to make stuff. So I generally use like those online boutiques as inspiration. My mother's obsessed. My mother shops from like all of your online fast fashion boutiques. So I always know what's happening because she's always sending me pictures from them. But I don't do much actual shopping from them myself. Anything that I have from a fast fashion boutique is like because my mom bought it and it didn't fit her. So she gave it to me. That being said, I saw the image and was really interested in it and thought I could remake it myself. The details, I guess, are available on Ravelry and a Ravelry project that'll be linked in the description. But basically, it's knit in acrylic yarn, like your basic craft store fare. A lot of it is Big Twist, RIP, God rest her. She will be missed. I will have to buy more because a lot of them are Big Twist Petites, which means they are small. They were already like mini skeins when I started, and I had used some of them last year to make Care Bear ears for the girls at work. And if you've tried to buy Big Twist yarn recently, the eBay scalpers have got it. And yarn that I bought for $1 last year is selling for upwards of $18 a skein on eBay right now. So enjoy that. The skirt is supposed to be very fitted. It's very bodycon. As you saw in the image, it's super, super short on her. I don't think I'm making mine that short. I'm probably not going full micro because this is a family vacation. My kids and my mama are gonna be there. Like, no thank you. Like, that's a lot. I'm not trying to go that far. So mine will probably be a bit longer. I am using a combination of stockinette and moss stitch. So all of the white squares in the project are stockinette, and all the color squares, all the squares that are not white are moss stitch. So I've got teal, I've got orange, I've got lime green, I've got yellow, and I've got this magenta, fuchsia, pink. And all of those squares are moss stitch. And then I'm alternating to make the checkerboard pattern. It's all self-drafted. I'm making it up as I go along and hoping that it works. I have had to tear back several times, which is why it's taken so long, because my current pace is 18 stitches, or 18 rows, excuse me. 18 rows a day. Like, that's pretty much what I have time for, which when I calculated it in the last video is about 4 hours and 7 minutes that I dedicate to knitting this project today. And I've been a very dutiful, monotonous knitter on this project. You would be surprised to hear if you knew my knitting in real life, because I'm not a monotonous knitter. As a matter of fact, I even weaved in all of the edges on my first band of color just this afternoon. So, feel free to praise me, because I am in fact a god. What can I say? I didn't know I had it in me, but it turns out I do. So the goal for today is to finish the second band of color. I'm on row 20 out of 32. I have to increase on the side back. I'm adding 2 more squares so that I can get from my waist measurement to my hip measurement, because I do want, like I said, I want it to be very fitted, but not like video vixen. I'm not trying to go, I don't want it to be, how do I say, my mouth wants to say indecent, but I don't think that like the girl in the image is dressed indecently. Like she's obviously going for like a very hot girl look. And that's not really what I'm going for. Mine is more preppy than hers is. Like, I feel like hers is more like the sexy Halloween costume version of what I'm trying to do. I'm definitely trying to go more like preppy button-down skirts than I think that the original image is giving. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does. I might just be rambling, but that is the goal. The goal is kind of like, what's the movie? What's the movie with Cher Horowitz? What is it? Clueless. Yes, I'm going for more like Clueless sexy, like very that. Like less overt sexuality and more like coquettish. Maybe that's the word. I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think when it's done. Because like I said, I'm not making it exactly like the original, like my inspiration. I mean, obviously, because I'm using tropical colors. I'm making mine a little longer. I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna get through, let's see, 32 rows total. So if I just finished 20, that means I have 12 more rows to go. So I'm gonna get through row, no, I think my washing machine is done. So I'm gonna finish this row. Then I'm going to take my clothes out of the washing machine and change them out. And then I probably won't talk to you again tonight, but I will knit more. So I will check in with you when the knitting is done. And maybe by then, the boys will be quiet. But probably not. Okay, bye for now. Hey sweeties, I know I told you I was gonna check in like tonight or before bed or when I finish this whole row, but I'm apparently a toddler whose only joy is yarn, and I have been knitting 2 rows in between all of my household tasks because it's Sunday, which means I need to prep for next week. I need to get the boys ready for school. I need to get myself ready for work. And, you know, laundry, cleaning, washing fruit, making lunches and snacks, all that stuff needs to happen. And I just cannot be parted from my yarn, apparently. So I've been knitting 2 rows, doing a household task, and then coming back to knit 2 more rows. So I knit 2 rows, I checked on the laundry, I washed the dishes, and now I'm back to knit 2 more rows. This is row 23, and as I mentioned, I need to get to 32 to finish this, to finish this section. And so I'm gonna keep alternating, knitting 2 rows and doing my housework. And once I get through row 32, I'm going to finish out the rest of my household tasks, and then I can just knit for the rest of the night. I don't know if I'm going to have much time because it is already like 7:30. So I don't know how much time I'll have for knitting once I get past row 32, because it does take, like, what did we say? We did the math. I don't remember. It takes a few minutes. Like, quite a few, like almost 20 minutes, probably. It takes like almost 20 minutes to knit 2 rows all the way back, all the way down and all the way back. So, I mean, one does what one must, but I feel like this is what I must. I knit, therefore I am. But anyway, I just wanted to check in because I was sitting down to knit again, and I felt the need to share the depths of my addiction. So, yeah, that's where we're at, and I will talk to you later. Hey sweeties, happy Tuesday. I know I didn't check in yesterday, but we took Mister to the airport yesterday, and the added 2 hours to my day removed 100% of my motivation to do anything. So I didn't even knit yesterday after I left work. Like, I didn't knit at home yesterday, which means that I am not on the second half of the 3rd row of color. I am still working on the first half. I think this is row 7 that I'm knitting right now of 28. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but I thought I needed to knit 32 rows, and I was wrong. The gauge means I need to knit 20. I need to knit 28 rows per color to make a square. So, yeah, I need to get, what is it? 20, I need to knit 21. Well, no, because I'm knitting row 7. So I need to knit 22 rows today so that I can be back on schedule. I don't have anything else to do tonight. Mister's out of town, which means I don't have to cook real dinner. I can make hot dogs for the children. So this is pretty much where I'm gonna be for the rest of the evening. Like I said, I gotta make dinner, I gotta put the boys to bed, but it's the opposite of difficult. So I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna finish the final column of the final band of color, and I'm going to be proud of myself. Dang it. Hey sweeties, it's Thursday night and we are still knitting on the skirt. If you will recall the initial plan, the skirt should be blocking today in preparation for knitting the button band and the buttonhole band Friday and Saturday so that the skirt is finished on Sunday and this project will have taken 2 weeks worth of vlog. But this morning, I was already a day behind schedule, but this morning I looked at my inspiration image and I realized that in my inspiration image, there's 4 rows of checkerboard, right? 4 rows of squares. And prior to that, I had held the skirt up, wrapped it around myself while it was still on the needles. And it was very short. And the skirt, like the ready-to-wear version, is 16.9 inches in length. And I don't think mine was that long. And I don't think that even knitting the ribbing on the bottom would have gotten me to a place where it was long enough for me to be comfortable with wearing it. So I tried so hard to talk myself out of this. I told myself I'm already doing different colors. My skirt doesn't have to be exactly like the original. It doesn't matter that there's 4 rows of squares on the original because I'm not doing a remake. I'm just being inspired. It didn't matter. In the end, I had left home without the other colors of yarn. I had left home with just the white and the yellow, and I was gonna knit a 4-inch ribbing along the hem of the skirt and call it done. And then I started to panic. I dropped the boys off at school and I came back and got the rest of my colors of yarn and I freaking started knitting a 4th row of squares. So I have added 2 days to this project because it does take me 2 days to knit the row of squares because it takes me like 3 hours to knit 14 rows and I don't have that many hours in the day. I still work all day. I have to do mom stuff. Mister is out of town. So I'm doing all the home stuff by myself and it's just, here's the thing. I'm frustrated because it's not gonna be done. Like I was already behind schedule before I added 2 days of work. So I'm frustrated because it's not gonna be done. But at the same time, I would rather it be done well. I want it to be done right. I want to love it when it's finished. I want to wear it when it's finished. I want it to be something that I'm proud of having made. So this is where we're at. And I'm already a garbage pail content creator, so I might as well go all the way with it and just, add another week of this project. I'm very frustrated with myself. Like I wish I could have just said good enough was good enough and kept it pushing. I wish I could have said, okay, well, I have 3 rows of squares. I'm just gonna knit enough ribbing until it's the right length and that'll be okay. But I couldn't do it. I could not talk myself into it. I tried. I really tried. And it just didn't happen. I just couldn't do it, okay? I couldn't do it. And it wasn't happening, okay? So here we are. And I don't know. I know that this is not the most engaging content, and I'm sorry for that. I wish I was more entertaining. But hell, this is where I'm at. So I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, except to say thank you for watching, and I hope this isn't too terribly boring. So that being said, I've added 2 days worth of work to this project, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Hopefully, hopefully it's worth it in the end. Hopefully, when the project is done, it's just a really beautiful thing that I love very much, and I can be proud of myself for taking the time to make it great. And if it isn't, then it isn't, and we'll just get over it. Now, that being said, if I'm going to do a 4th row of squares, which I am because I'm 9 rows into the 4th row of squares, 9 of 28 rows into the 4th row of squares, I'm definitely not going to have enough yarn to do the second piece of this set, the polo. So I ordered more yarn for that. I don't know. I talked about this before, I think probably in last week's knitting vlog. The ridiculous markup on Big Twist yarn, now that Joanne's, God rest her soul, has gone to be with Toys R Us. So I ended up buying the orange one ended up being bright orange ended up being the most expensive. It was like $12 for the yarn and then $6 for shipping. So that was like $18, $19. I got a skein of the green, which is the color slime in the petite. And I got the blue, which is jade green, also in the petite, from another seller, Vadis Bookstore, I think, on eBay for one of them, and Bonanza for the other. I don't know what Bonanza is. I literally typed in Big Twist Petite Jade Green and Big Twist Petite Slime into Google, and then just went to whatever the shopping links were, like the cheapest shopping links. And those were both $2.99, but had like $6 in shipping. So they both came out to around $9. Luckily, the seller was very kind and noticed that I had ordered from their eBay store and their Bonanza store in different transactions, and refunded me the shipping price for one of them. So those yarns are coming. They probably won't be here until next, I think, Saturday, the 7th. What day is that? Well, the earliest they can ship is the 7th, which would be Tuesday next week. Yeah? Not the earliest they'll ship, the earliest they'll arrive. The jade green and the slime have already shipped, and they should be here by Tuesday next week. I don't think the bright orange has shipped yet. I should check that. I should stay on top of that. So I don't know if I'm going to be starting the polo next, because I'll still have whatever yarn is left over from the skirt or if I'm going to start the next cruise project, which is going to be like a column dress with granny squares on the sides and around the top. And I bought some yarn at the Carolina Fiber Fest. Sorry, it's like 9:15, which is 45 minutes past my bedtime. So forgive me if my brain is no longer engaged. I bought some yarn at the Carolina Fiber Fest, the only yarn I bought at this year's Fiber Fest for that. And I saw a blog post about making knitted granny squares because I can't crochet and I refuse to learn because you will claw my tube needles from my cold dead fingers. The issue there though with the knit facsimile of granny square is that it's made up of I-cords, and I-cords use a lot of yarn because it's like a 3D cord, and I only bought one mini skein set. So I'm wondering if I should try to make these knitted granny squares that are made of I-cords, or if I could get away with just making like squares with like strategically placed yarn overs that'll mimic the feeling of granny squares without requiring me to make I-cords and use. I understand that crochet uses a lot more yarn than knitting, but like I said, I only have mini skein sets and I really don't want to have to buy more of this yarn. I really want the one mini skein set that I bought to do what I need done. So we'll see, because I'm not even entirely sure how I would go about making a facsimile of an I-cord without, with knitting, or making a facsimile of an I-cord, making a facsimile of a granny square without using this I-cord method, just using like strategically placed yarn overs like I mentioned. That would be something that would require me to prototype it and trial and error it. Luckily I have a lot more random acrylic yarn in the garage from generally being a knitter, but I would really appreciate something being easy and going the way it's supposed to, getting a break, because I have legitimately this trip is on July 4th, so I have all of this month and all of next month and then like 3 days, and I really need to be done making clothes for this trip like before the 1st of July. I need to be packed. My suitcases have been laid out on the floor in this bedroom for like over a month. I've been like collecting up stuff, like my water shoes, because I want to make sure I have those, and the beach towels that I've bought in the past. I have started packing like in February. And I really want to make all my clothes for vacation this year. It shouldn't be this hard. I'm really good at making things, I swear. Okay. All right. I'm ranting because I'm frustrated and I'm tired. And I'm not making the progress that I would like to, and that's my fault because I like to nap more than I like to do. So I'm not going to take my frustrations out on you. I'm going to internalize and self-hate like I always do. Ugh. Also, today's the first day of Me Made May, and I wore a Me Made outfit. It was from fabric. I bought it at Joann's again. God rest her, may she fly with the angels. Hibiscus skirt, and from their green, some of their old green knit fabric, like a cropped t-shirt. It was like a new look pattern or something. Super cute. If you want to see it, you can check it out on my Instagram, where I will be posting all my Me Made May outfits and challenges and stuff and things and what I got going on is over there, at DeeDee Creative, at D_D_creative on Instagram. I think it's linked in the description. It should be linked in the description. So if you are so inclined, go follow me over there and give those Me Made May posts a like. Yeah, so I don't have much more to say. As I keep repeating, I'm not a great content creator, like especially when it comes to vlogging, because I never know what to tell you guys. And I think, especially today, I'm just gonna start devolving into ranting, whining, and complaining, which nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to listen to my first world problems about how hard it is for me to make all the clothes that I'm going to wear on a tropical vacation. That sounds miserable. I don't even want to hear myself complain about it, so I'm definitely not going to give that to you. Instead, I'm going to wish you like the best evening. I'm going to hope that you are somewhere safe and comfortable and happy and surrounded by love. And if you aren't, then I'm going to spend some time with you so that you have someone to be with. And we're going to knit, and we're going to see how far we get tonight, because tomorrow is a very calm day at work. And we're not going to stress. We're not going to sweat the small stuff. And we're not going to allow ourselves to become overwhelmed by the voices in our head tonight. Like I said, Mr. is out of town, and I tend to spiral a little harder when he's gone, because I have a lot of anxiety around being a mom and taking care of a household and maintaining, and he's much more calm than I am, and he's much more like resolute, I guess. He's a very calming presence, and I am a very anxious, high anxiety person, and I rely heavily on having a calming presence around me. And I never realized how much I rely on him for that until he's gone. And I mean, he's entitled to taking trips, and I wanted him to go. Like, I paid for the flight because I wanted him to be able to go home and do his thing and experience Carnival and have that fun and stuff that's important to him. It's part of his culture. But I am reminded, like, some of the weaknesses in my personality when I don't have my other half around to balance me. And I mean, I think we're all like that, you know, even if it's not a romantic partner, like a friend who fills in the gaps in your personality, or a family member who is your foil and helps to balance you out. I think those are important things to have. And I mean, I love kicking him out of the house and having time with the boys by myself, or just being in the house by myself. And I'm like, him being around causes other anxieties, but it's not like this general, is every door locked? Are the children safe? Is there enough water? What will I do if the zombies come? It's not like that. I think I'm sleepy. I think I need to tear my tired tail bed. Y'all ignore me, okay? Ignore the heck out of me, because I don't know what we doing today. I don't know what we on, for real, for real. Highest key. I don't know what we on today. It's a whole other. I'm gonna be honest with you. I drank a Rockstar at like 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I've been on a vibe ever since. There's a grocery store around here that has like had Rockstar on sale, like they're all on closeout. So at one of the branches of the store over here by the house, they were like $1. And then the ones over by work, they're $1.75. And at Walmart, they're $2.19. So of course, I'm buying Rockstar right now while they're on sale, which means I'm drinking Rockstar, which I'm sure the caffeine is great for my anxiety. And I don't think I've eaten today. Oh yes, I did. I got sushi. When I bought Rockstar, I got sushi from the grocery store. Yeah. So all I've had today is grocery store sushi, Rockstar, 2 coffees, and a bottle of water. Don't tell Mister, he will be very upset. Oh no, I think it might be time for me to be quiet. I think I'm going to listen to the YouTube channel Dreading. I've fallen off from watching my Chinese drama on my general. I've fallen off of that. I'll probably get back on because I go through like bouts of obsession. So I've fallen off, but who knows for how long I've fallen off. But I have fallen off that particular obsession for the foreseeable. And instead I've gone back to, I have basically like a comfort playlist of like 18 long form videos, hour plus long videos. And some of them are true crime. One of them was about why the movie Cats was a terrible musical. Most of them are from Dan Olson, Folding Ideas. His one about Decentraland, like the metaverse. His one about NFTs. And then a bunch of the true crime channel Dreadings, like series. So the one he did on Sarah Boone, the one he did on Alia Bulaban, the one he did on Tony Tots. Who else? Yeah. And I go through bouts where I'm just watching that on repeat, and it is like a saved playlist. So I can just kind of turn it on and hit repeat and watch it. And something about these stories that I know, like these stories that I know the actual story of the case, or, the movie Cats, or, Decentraland or whatever. But then I'm so familiar with the words that the commenter, in this case Dreading or Dan Olson, are going to say. I'm so familiar with like the scripts of the videos that like it's like watching a favorite movie. I don't have to engage with it, but I know what's coming next. And even if it's like too quiet for me to hear, like if I'm washing dishes and it's too loud, or if I walk away from the video and come back, I can pick it back up immediately, and I don't have to, rewind and like actively engage with what is being said in the video. It just kind of can exist as background noise, but it also keeps me out of my own head. So that's what I'm probably gonna do until bedtime. And I apologize for whatever tonight's ramble is. Apparently I just need to say words. I just feel obligated to keep filling the space with the sound of my voice. So I'm gonna stop being a yapaholic. I'm going to check on my babies, and I'm gonna talk to you another day. Hopefully tomorrow, but definitely by Sunday. And maybe, just maybe, if we keep our heads down and we keep our hearts open and pure, we can finish this skirt by the end of this vlog. And we can be on to something new and exciting in the next one. All right, bye for now. Hey sweeties, it's DeeDee. I finished the 4th row of color. It's a Friday evening, it's like, it's 7 o'clock. I finished the 4th row of color. Yes. All that's left before I block it and do the button band on one side and the buttonhole band on the other is to do another row of knit 3 purl 1 ribbing on the bottom for the hem. And then I can, steam block. And then tomorrow I can do the button band and the buttonhole band, and this could still be done by Sunday. Okay, so the only goal is to get the hem done tonight and then steam block in the morning. Okay. All right. I mean, I'm not gonna start right now because I have cold stone, so I'm gonna eat ice cream first. But let the record reflect. 4 bands of color, 4 rows of color. We have a checkerboard. We have a patchwork. We have art. Okay, ice cream time. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you later. Hey sweeties, happy Saturday. What should be the last day of this vlog, but as you can see, I'm still knitting the hem. I fell asleep last night and didn't knit the hem, which means I did not block the skirt, which means I cannot start on the button band and the buttonhole band yet. But, I mean, such is life. I'm not trying to stress myself out behind these projects, basically. I want to get them done. It's important to me that they get done. I would love to have like my whole cruise wardrobe handmade. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Knitting is something that I do for fun. It's something I enjoy. And I'm not really concerned with doing it quickly. That's never been my bag, you know? I am happy for everyone who can knit quickly, and you see all the time YouTube videos or Instagram posts or things on Pinterest that are like how to knit more quickly. Hold the work continental style to knit faster. That's not really what I'm after. I'm a process knitter. I like knitting. Like, I enjoy having the thing that I'm knitting at the end of it, but I like knitting. Yesterday we were at the park, the boys and I. We went to the park after school, and I sat and I was knitting, and this group of like elementary school aged girls sat with me and watched me knit and asked me questions, and it was just really nice. It was really nice, and it's that's the reason that I knit, because it's just nice. It just slows your body, slows your mind. It gives you some, at least for me, some peace. And I'm not competing with anyone when I'm making, When I'm knitting, I'm not knitting to win. It's not about creating the most stuff or having a big number at the end of the year that's awesome. And if you're capable of that, I'm so happy for you. And if that is what it's about for you, then I hope you get that. That's just not what I'm trying to do. So as much as I wanted to finish this project for last week's vlog, and as much as I want to finish this project for this week's vlog, it might not happen. And that's okay. These deadlines are so stinking arbitrary. They're like, they literally don't matter. Like, actually, not real. Deadlines are completely self-imposed, made up in my head. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I can buy clothes to wear on vacation, or I can wear the clothes I already have. It's not a war crime to not finish making everything I want to make. That being said, I'm still gonna try. But if it doesn't happen, that's okay. So as for today, the boys and I played in the backyard. I set up the slip and slide, and they did that for like an hour. Well, a little more than that. They did that for a while. We did the slip and slide for a while. Came in and had popsicles. I'm wearing one of my handmade swimsuits from last year because it is Me Made May. So you can see like all of my legs and thighs. Please ignore. I am working out. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to finish the hem today, and I'm probably gonna finish blocking today. And then who knows? Who knows where we're going from there? I might not finish the button band until Monday next week. Who knows? But it'll get done. And then we'll start the next project because I still have to figure out what I'm doing about that dang on granny square dress. Ugh. Dang on granny square dress. Anyway, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna knit and watch some retrospective videos about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef from last year because that is all I'm consumed with right now since it's the anniversary. And I'll talk to you later. Hi, sweeties. I haven't done any blocking or washing or end weaving, but I just wanted to show it to you. I'm wearing my bathing suit that I made last year, so, you know, it's okay. I'm not in my underwear. But here's what we got. I think it's nice. It's a nice, you know, God-honoring length. And it's not going to be this tight because, like I said, I'm adding two 2-inch button bands. So there'll be 2 inches on this side of button band, 2 inches on this side of button band, and then the buttons will be put in the middle and the buttonholes will be put in the middle. So it'll be like an additional 2 inches. And I'm only going to button it down to like, oh my goodness. I'm only going to do buttons down to like there. So it'll be a little thigh, but no bottom. You know, it'll be cute. It'll be cute. And once I Once I weave in the ends, the squares won't be coming apart. And once I block it and put the button band on the side, this won't be rolling in on itself. And it'll look a lot better once those two things are done. Yeah. So it's a little bit high-waisted, but it's cute. It's very cute. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm gonna go do the stuff that I said I was gonna do. Weaving ends, washing, blocking. Back later.
Hey sweeties, I realized during editing that I never ended the knitting vlog, like saying goodbye to you and reminding you to like and subscribe, and I wanted to do that because I know this knitting vlog has been a lot. There's been a lot of feelings and thoughts and if such, and I think we just need a moment to catch our breath. So, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give the video a like. It would mean a lot to me. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this from me, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video on this channel. Yeah, that's all I've got for today, and as always, you stay cute. Bye, sweeties.